Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
And what shall we discuss?
Well, I had a little meltdown, but I think I'm through it. I feel better. I guess I'm thinking it was my way of blowing up the container without affecting other relationships around me. Is that,
Excellent.
you would agree?
And what was your blowing up?
Well, it seemed to start. I went to this meeting about a friend that owns a newspaper about doing sales from her, and I met with the whole group that night, and I felt really good coming home. But as soon as the next morning came, my eyes were bothering me. I had a headache, and then just things after that. It was so clear that that wasn't the direction to go in, and the blow up just came about of being, just the culmination of one more thing that's not the direction to go in. I just feel like I'm standing in the middle of a desert with nothing around. So I kind of lost it over that. But I think that I chose losing it over that as a way of, instead of damaging the relationship with my roommate.
And did you acknowledge yourself for what a tremendous accomplishment that is?
I think I did.
Excellent. But I would be excited. Do you remember our conversations, in your terms, a considerable time frame ago, in which we discussed your propensity to blow up
Oh, yeah.
the container,
Yeah.
and how this had become such an automatic action for you. And in this, first of all, I would express in this opportunity an acknowledgement that you have not done that in a considerable time framework.
Right.
And that in this, when you chose to do it, you did it different.
And it was more self-directed.
But in a manner that would allow you to release energy and release all that holding without sabotage.
Right, without the fallout damaging everything around me.
I would express that is tremendous. Congratulations.
Well, thank you. And I feel pretty good now. Things seem to be back to normal with my roommate. She's not doing a whole lot more, but it doesn't seem to be bothering me like it was.
Excellent. And what did you engage in that situation?
Nothing.
Nothing.
I think it was just the blowing up of it. I don't know. I just felt, it blew up, and I spent a few days crying and yelling and screaming and having a little pity party, and then it just seemed to blow over. So, but I still feel...
Therefore, you did not do your chart.
No, I put that aside for now. I still may come back to that.
Very well.
But it's not bothering me like it was. And I'm going away this weekend for a little R&R, which was interesting because my new mom had to have surgery down there, and her boyfriend was like, well, she doesn't want to see anybody at all. And I'm like, okay, well, I still need to get out of here. So I'm going to go see the Grand Canyon and go on a horseback ride and still see her. She called yesterday, so I think I created as a way to optimize that trip and do a couple of things that I wanted to do that I might not have thought of otherwise.
Excellent.
And I started a page, Where's My Investor, on social media, going more of a worldwide route. So I wanted to see if that was making a difference at all.
It is a step.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, are there steps that I'm missing? I just feel like I'm just in the middle of a desert. I just feel like there's nothing around, like I can see nothing for miles and miles and miles. And I just don't get it. I mean, everything else that I do, usually by now, I've seen some glimmer that it's going in the right direction, or that it's on its way. And with this, it's just sand. I don't get it. Am I missing something?
No.
No. Okay.
Other than patience? No.
I know, but I feel like I've been so patient. My patience is very thin on patience.
I would not necessarily agree with that.
Well, I've been more patient than I would have been several years ago.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that. I would not necessarily agree that you have been exceptionally patient.
It feels like I have.
I would express that this is one of your greatest challenges, and you know that.
Right.
And in that, in similar manner to your recent examples to yourself, in which you blow up and subsequently what seemed so important previously is not actually so important, or not so bothersome to you, for you allowed yourself to release that energy and not be concerning yourself with a particular situation or an expression or a direction. In that, it allows you to express more patience and calm. In this, what I would express to you is this is a significant challenge for you. It has been for a considerable time framework. But what I will express to you in an encouragement is that there are actually other individuals, physical individuals, in this forum that are genuinely directing energy in cooperation with you. That your action in months prior around our group interaction was considerably impactful. Now, what I will also express to you is to incorporate that as an example. You generated extending yourself with other individuals and sharing your vision with them. And since that time framework, there are a number of individuals that have incrementally been building their energy in support of you in your direction. But that occurred for you extended yourself and you shared.
Well, and I thought that's what I was doing with creating the page.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Precisely. And this is the reason that I expressed, yes, that is a step.
Okay.
In this, what I am expressing to you is an encouragement that although you seem that your perception is that you are within the center of an endless desert, in actuality, there are forces and energies building and building around you that you may not necessarily be aware of, but they are present and moving in a cooperative direction with you, and you can build on that.
Well, and with the newspaper, maybe that would be something to take my mind off of it, and I'd be out meeting other business owners, but there were just so many signs that that wasn't the direction to go.
I'm understanding, and I agree. I would also express another acknowledgement too, that you generated a step, that you incorporated an idea to engage a different action, to involve yourself and occupy yourself, and that was considerable and a benefit. And I would express that perhaps that was not necessarily a beneficial fit for you, but you are moving in the correct direction.
Of looking for something? No.
Involving yourself. Not necessarily looking for a job, although that could be an avenue to involve yourself if it was a correct fit for you.
It's just, and every time I look at going in that direction, there's so many things that just scream no. Is it me just telling me that if you don't need to work for somebody else again? You're gonna figure this out.
Not necessarily. I would express that you already know that. I would express that that screaming no is a reaction to the idea of working to support yourself, to be productive. Those reasons, you are correct. That you are screaming to yourself, no.
That I don't need to work to support myself.
Correct. But if you are moving in that direction for a different reason, for a reason of accepting yourself or involving yourself,
Or maybe to learn something new.
yes, that would be very different. And in that, you are not betraying yourself by moving in an old direction that you have moved beyond. And you're not sabotaging your direction in creating this new venture.
Right.
But what I am expressing to you is that it is possible that that could be an avenue that you could explore for those reasons. Or you could explore other directions in which you can extend yourself and involve yourself and perhaps learn something new.
And I've made great progress in catching up with all the sculptures I had left over from last year, so that's been a big relief too lately.
Excellent. And do you feel an accomplishment in
Yes,
that?
huge.
Tremendous.
Those 6 that were sitting over my head, and I've got 2 more, and I'll be caught up from last year. Then I can start on the ones for this year.
Excellent.
And I've redone everything, so I won't get in that. I'm not going to get in that position again. That was too overwhelming. It was taking the fun out of it, and I want it to be fun.
Correct.
And the last week or so, my eyes have just felt really like thick and heavy, and I'm not sure what's going on there. I mean, I've been spending like an extended amount of time resting them, but I don't understand, because I've been feeling better overall. I don't know why they're feeling worse.
I would express it as residual.
Oh, okay.
It is not in relation to now.
Right.
It is a residual expression of reaction to that anxiety and tension and releasing energy and generating that agitation. It is a residual of that.
Okay. And as far as my weight, I've been feeling okay about it. I mean, I still want to get back into my other pants. But is there any like one thing that's standing in the way of it? I don't really feel like I need to be protected right now.
And what are you doing?
Well, one question I wanted to ask first is all excess weight related to protection?
No.
Okay. Well, I've been playing with pills again, because I like to take pills and see what they do. And I'm sticking with my shakes in the morning, because I figure out if I start off right, it's a better chance for the rest of the day. My Tai Chi classes are getting ready to start up again this week.
Excellent.
And that's pretty much it. Waiting for spring is kind of what we're all doing. Waiting for the weather to break.
And if you are waiting, then you are generating a holding and pausing. And if you are doing that, it is likely that you will not notice much differences. But I would express that I notice a difference. That you are somewhat lighter.
Okay, I'll take that. So is there anything that I'm just not catching right now, that I'm not aware of, or that I'm missing?
In relation to?
I guess, I don't know. I mean, I just never spent this long not creating something in a work fashion.
Stop. Once again, and this is a part of the situation, is not quite moving into that position yet of expressing the perception that you are being productive. Not equating money with productivity. And this is a part of this situation where to express this and the patience would be two of the most significant challenges. This element, I cannot emphasize to you enough how important it is that you move in that direction of recognizing that your productivity is not measured only by money.
Is there an exercise or something I can do to help move more in that, getting used to that direction?
Every action that you generate in which you are expressing any type of production, which is considerable, that would include very many actions. If you...
Even as far as completing a puzzle.
Correct. If you set a direction for anything, incorporating your shakes in the morning is a production, is producing.
Okay.
Anything that you do that creates any type of production is to be acknowledged. And in that, what I will express to you is, for every single productive action that you do, we will revert to our basic exercise, and in that, reincorporate your bowl or your container and place it down in the container. And in that, each day, the variation in this exercise and this time framework will be, each day, at the end of the day, you are to count how many stones are in that bowl.
Okay.
And genuinely acknowledge yourself for how much you produced that day. And not with money.
Okay.
They are not synonymous.
And do you start with an empty bowl the next day, or do you build on it?
Build.
Okay.
Continue to build. No, do not empty the bowl. For I would express the encouragement to you to, at the end of 1 week, view that bowl and how many stones are in that bowl.
Okay. I can do that.
And be acknowledging of yourself each day for how many stones are in that bowl and how much you have accomplished in that day, for you have been productive.
Okay. Alright. Is my brother, is he making any progress in understanding the information more? Outside my bedroom window there's a little bird that comes up to the screen. Is that my mom?
Yes.
Okay. like a little birdie told me so. And I wanted to ask about Addie with her pacing. She comes. Well, two of my dogs are driving me crazy. Dimitri, he's so needy. What is that about with the neediness? Making me feel wanted?
Moving your attention.
Okay, and then Addie with her pacing. She walks in the living room, she walks back out. She walks in the living room, she walks back out. Until I tell her to settle down. Is it the same thing, just moving my attention?
Somewhat, but that is more a reflection of what you have been expressing, being lost in the desert
Oh, okay.
and not being entirely comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
and in your terms, not knowing where to be.
Right. I can see that. And little Calvin seems to be getting more comfortable. Is his
Congratulations.
is his mainly like a neurological issue?
In what?
He just seems off.
Define off.
In that, like when he's doing things, his back end doesn't always seem to be connecting with his front end. But even when like he's laying there, he just seems like he does things differently. Like he doesn't quite know what to do, and he's kind of making it up as he goes along.
Not necessarily neurological, but it does incorporate a challenge of generating connections
Okay.
at times. Connecting objective expressions and reality at times.
Okay. All right. Well, I just did a short little session today, but I will definitely do the exercise and work more on being patient.
But also remember, sharing, extending, involving.
Yeah, and I'm doing that every day with my page and looking at different ways I can share it and
Excellent,
things like that. So
excellent.
I think that's a good way to do that. All right, we'll see you in March, and hopefully it'll be warmer.
Very well. I express tremendous encouragement and support to you.
I need it. Send
And
lots.
I shall be offering my energy to you continuously.
Good. I need it.
And also in acknowledgement.
Thank you.
In tremendous affection to you, my dear friend, and in wondrous lovingness, as always. Au revoir. Oh. I'm having little brain freezes.